Welcome, this is your host, Amparo Navarrete. You are listening to Latinos on the Hill at Prairie View A&M University, KPVU 91.3 FM. This program is sponsored by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Well, good morning. Here we are in Texas, almost the end of the year. Today we have a student of Prairie View A&M that graduated in 2006, and he has done different things along the way. So we want to make sure that you are having the time to get your pen and paper ready in case you need to contact him later. His name is Christopher Porter. And good morning, Christopher. How are you?
Amparo, good morning. I'm proud to be here. I'm going to make a quick correction. 1995, actually. I would take that credit there. I wish I could.
Okay, 1995. Okay, that means we have a long time.
Yes.
So 1995 to 2011. So you probably have done a lot. But before we go into that, let us know, where did you grow up?
Chris Porter. I grew up in the east side of Austin, Texas. I have a lot of family in Houston and also Warden, Texas. So I have a lot of country in me. Barbed wire fences, red dirt, and all that. So, yeah, I'm a country boy a little bit.
So, which university you graduated from, and why you choose that one?
Oh, Prairie View A&M University is my university. It was a beautiful. It was a beautiful morning coming to Prairie View because it just reminded me how beautiful the campus was when I was on 290. Coming from Austin, hitting the campus. It was still dark, but it lit up a little bit in the morning light, and it was like all the beautiful trees and the hues of the browns and the yellows and all those beautiful tones. And I saw the light of the university. It was just like it lit up. It was like, oh man, that's the hill. It's the hill, man. It's beautiful.
And when you graduated in 95, we didn't have 290.
Oh, we did. We had 290.
But not the way it is.
Oh, not the way it is today. Correct. We had the old business. Is it the old business route?
We still have the two-way road.
Yes.
But today we have a highway that connects Houston to Austin with no problem.
With no problem at all.
Yeah, because it takes like two and a half hours driving from Austin to here, right?
Sure. Yeah, about 2.5.
So you graduated from Prairie View in 1995, and you graduated with a degree in computer engineer.
Uh-huh.
And what was the reason that you decided to change profession, and what is that profession?
Computer engineering was my degree that I finished up at in 1995. I worked like 7 years in the semiconductor industry and worked for Motorola, which is now Freescale. I did 5 years design engineering and 2 years product engineering. So the 5th year, I caught the entrepreneur bug. I always had it, I've always had it. It was just about planning my exit strategy, and the 5th year was the right time. So I created my business plan, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do, which is to get into the fashion industry and to really build a fashion empire. So that was like really the timeline, really, and then it was just like, okay, 7 years engineering, I'm burnt out now. Okay, I'm tired of spending time in this lab and working crazy hours, doing the weekends, and it's just like, okay, I see where the real revenue is at, and that's about ownership. It's about having your own ownership. And so at that point, it was like, okay, it's either you take a dive now, man, and really embrace the struggle of the whole entrepreneur spirit, and that's what I did. So I just didn't want to feel that what if factor. That what if I would have, I did not want to feel that. Yeah.
But you're saying that you used to work Saturdays and Sundays, but when you have your own business, you do work
Oh,
Saturdays and
I
Sundays.
do. I do. But it's not work anymore because I love what I do. It's not work.
Okay, that's the part that
Yes,
makes
that's
the
the part.
difference.
Your passion. You got to follow it.
So you got to find something that is really your niche.
Yes.
And when you find it, you just take it, and that's what you did.
Yeah, that's what I did.
But Prairie View has given you the formation and also giving you the producing productive people like we do here at Prairie View A&M. So no matter what degree you study, you always have a good training because Prairie View has put you in the right perspective. Right?
That's absolutely correct. You're right, because it's really given me the blueprint to be successful, and I would not be at this position if it wasn't from Prairie View, because of course I wouldn't have been 7 years in the semiconductor industry, which is what I used to actually start my business. So I'm indebted to Prairie View. I will always be.
Well, that's good. Because remember, we take donations. So.
Yes.
Did you attend to any school in particular to work in the industry of designing and clothing and all that?
Amparo, it was really it was really self-taught. I really self-taught myself a lot of what it takes to make patterns, to design, and it's really about building relationships with mentors. You got to have a mentor, and along the way, I could say I probably have more than 5 mentors, so it was really about establishing mentors and learning the craft from them, so
and these people are really willing to give you that time and that knowledge.
Yes.
So they become part of your inspiration, or what drove your inspiration?
Oh,
where you got it from?
The inspiration comes from everything. It's everyday life, nature. It's from, I'm in Austin right now, so I love being outdoors. The green of the lawn. The blue of the sky, the clouds in the sky. The water. I love water, and that's probably the country boy in me too, But for the most part, everyday life, visiting new places, new things, new reading, connecting with different cultures, life itself really is the true inspiration, And of course, those mentors are inspirations as well because they've achieved a level of success.
And it's very important to have that connectivity with the people. And Austin is so multicultural. You have all races, people from all over the world. And the beautiful part of the people from Austin is that they are a different kind of people that you find in Houston. They are not the same. It's amazing how these two cities being so close to each other have such a different population.
Yeah, absolutely right. You hit it on the nail, Amparo. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Austin's a little laid back, and it fits my personality. I'm a laid back type of guy.
Laid back and not afraid.
Not afraid. That's true.
And people over there, they are not afraid of tattoos or coloring their hairs or creating their own fashion statements. So you can see that the city of Houston and the city of Austin has two different type of population, and I know that is very, very helpful in the creation of clothing and becoming more aware of what's going on.
Absolutely. Austin is really it's multicultural, and it's a real open-minded city, if I could put it in so many words.
That's exactly what I think is a very open-minded. And you got to be there with open mind when you go to visit, because don't be scared. You're going to see different things.
Oh, you will. That you will.
Now, tell us about your new way of doing business in the fashion industry. What is that new way?
Oh, God. Okay, the new way of doing business now. I started the company in 1999, 2000. It was Nakura Apparel, Inc., and it was the traditional way of running a fashion company is that you sketch, design, market, produce, You have inventory. You ship. You have all these responsibilities. So I just recently changed my business model last year, coming from a traditional business model of fashion to kind of like a non-traditional, I guess you can say. But for the most part, it's Brands Phenomenal Group. We own a diversified portfolio of fashion lifestyle brands. Our goal is to touch every single segment of retail, from the mass market to the luxury market. So then this new business model is so savvy, is that what we do is we license our brands out to leading manufacturers and retailers worldwide. So that's the new idea, the new way of doing business with fashion, and I think I'm hitting it right on stride. You're probably going to see a lot of companies switch their business models, and I'm happy to say that I hit the curve right on time. So then it's like you'll see with this new business model, it's less overhead, and there's more profit for investors in this way. So
you're decided to stay in business in Austin, but why not California or Los Angeles, where there really are the design place, the clothing and entrepreneurs? Yeah. Why Austin?
Why Austin? Before I answer that question, we're now currently, first part of the year, we're going to be inking out a deal with a huge retailer. And this is going to be a direct-to-retail model that they're going to take one of the lifestyle brands and do business. So I fly out to New York first part of the year. And looking forward to it. That's going to be exciting. You guys pray for me, and it's going to be the start. Something real big. So
direct retail model.
Direct to retail
in
business
New York.
Model.
So you're doing your clothing here in Austin, and you're taking to New York, where is the fashion mecca.
Yes. The two hubs that I will be doing business is going to definitely be New York and L.A. I will never, ever, ever stop doing business there. But as far as the design, the marketing, and things of that nature, I'll probably stay home base here in Texas.
Cheaper, too.
It is cheaper. Yeah, totally cheaper. The cost of living is really high in New York and LA.
Just the rent alone. You can for the price of you get an apartment in New York, you can get a nice house here.
You absolutely can.
Yes.
So to answer your question, why didn't I not move to New York or L.A.? The answer for me was, it's just I knew had I moved to New York or L.A., I would probably be working for a large company, and I probably wouldn't have Brands Phenomenal Group or any of my lifestyle brands that I have under the parent company. So, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't be talking to you right now, probably. So it was just really, I wanted to do this on my own time, and I didn't want to go to New York or L.A. because if you don't have your things, if you don't have everything lined up in order, you'll get burnt out. It'll burn you out really quickly and chew you out and spit you back home.
Yes.
You'll be going back home, so I didn't want that to happen.
What is the most challenging aspect of your business?
The most challenging aspect of the business is probably, I would say, is wearing multiple hats. With a small business, there's so many advantages, but yet and still there's a whole lot of challenges, So being able to learning how to market.
Give me some specifics.
Some specifics.
A lot of people have challenges, but give us specifics in the business. What has been the biggest challenge that you have encountered?
I would probably say there's different degrees. Like from a design point of view, it was learning how to design patterns. We actually had to, thank God we met a mentor. She's from New York as well. She happened to be living here in Texas at the time. But we really didn't know how to create patterns. And so I had to really just sit down with her and learn these patterns. And it took me a while. while we were going in production in El Paso for one of our first premier denim lines, Nakura's functional denim line. The patterns were a little, they were, instead of OTAG and the real production patterns, we had paper. I used paper. And it was and so John Elias, good guy, is one of my mentors as well. Twinkies Apparel. He's like, gosh, Chris, I can't go in production like this. I cannot go into production like this.
Not with paper.
Not with paper. So I had to go back. I thought I was doing saving money, and I thought I was doing the right thing. I was like, John, you sure you can't do this, man? I mean, come on.
So shortcuts are not something that you can do.
You definitely don't want to do that. Okay. So I went back and I recreated those patterns into OTAG.
So did you have to learn to sew? Did you have to use a sewing machine yourself?
Yes, I taught myself how to sew and all that good stuff. So everything is kind of like handmade. I sew on my own labels and any custom-made things of that nature. Yeah, we absolutely have to do that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. My husband learned to sew when my daughter was doing theater and she needed some costumes, and he started doing the costumes for the whole crew. So he loved it, and he used the machine, but he used the paper because that's the stuff that you get at the store in Walmart when you go and buy all the different patterns. Then you have it there.
Right.
But now your greatest fear in starting over.
The greatest fear was probably feel of just the fear of failure. And that had always been kind of like with any small business. It's just like, gosh, where are we going? We're barely hanging in there. It's like I'm sleeping on the floor. I'm staying up 24/7. I'm like barely making it today. And it's like, God, are we gonna make it tomorrow? Mm-hmm. My 401k maxed out. All my savings maxed, everything.
You mean you empty everything?
I emptied everything to go into the business, and it's like, gosh, how am I going to make this happen? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was really a blessing through many supporters out there that helped support me helped supported me and to get to this point. Roy Perry is actually one of them too as well. Roy Perry,
from
yes,
engineering.
He's an amazing businessman
and he is an
brilliant mind.
Yes.
And he was VP of Dell at the time, and he saw my vision, and he helped me launch my first production.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
and your most recent success that the company has experienced. Now we talk about the failures, and now what is the most recent success?
The most recent success I would have to say is the new business model. That's what kind of like that resonates. Like, I know what I want now, so I'm able to go to these manufacturers and retailers and really do business.
So what you're doing is selling to them. They're buying your merchandise and
yes.
they're selling it for you over there, so you don't have to have a store to pay all these people to sell it. So you just go and say, okay, here's my merchandise, this is the price, take it or leave it.
Absolutely, that's pretty much right. That's pretty much right. With this business model, it allows me to focus more on what I do best, and it lets them do what I know they could actually. They have the power and they have the capital to really move. So I handle the design aspect, the marketing, the trend direction, the intellectual properties I own, and so that's what I'm doing. Really, is I'm giving them terms on my intellectual properties. It's like a 3-year term. You license my brand out. I handle the design aspect, marketing. You guys handle the marketing, the distribution and production. Yes, and so it's just a beautiful partnership, and that's the goal is to really hone a long-term partnership with the retailer, and that's what I've grown to learn to know.
I have seen that last year we have new clothing by some of the actors and actresses from this Hispanic, like
Oh,
Miss
beautiful.
Lopez,
Yeah, Miss yes, absolutely.
Miss J-Lo.
What's the other one? Salma Hayek, I think.
Salma
Salma
Hayek, and the
Hayek.
ex-husband of J-Lo.
Yes, Mark Anthony.
Anthony
Yeah, he has a
also.
line too
So
as well.
everybody is now seeing that, yeah, people like fashion, and fashion is a wonderful industry. It's like cosmetics. Everybody wants to look pretty. And now with the health professions, everybody's growing old, and we need more nurses and more medical doctors. So if you are interested in learning a lot, that's the place to be, is at Prairie View A&M.
Isn't it? It's wonderful, isn't it?
So are you willing to
Yeah.
co-op with other designs?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
brands, or just going to be your own brand?
Absolutely. I'm definitely, of course, I would love to co-op with different designers. If there's any designers out there on the Hill right now, contact me,
Okay. Well,
let's get it going.
This is looking good. Look like we're probably seeing you in the long run.
Sure.
And right now, let's take a few seconds to acknowledge our sponsors, and we'll be right back in Spanish.
It's 2011, and the Pepsi